Woo!
I do
That
declare.
that went by so fast. I'm like, man, I can't believe that was already like 5 songs. Incredible. I'm absolutely loving it. The SP404 Drasmatic's working his magic. I
Goes
mean,
absolutely
whew.
bonkers every time.
Yeah, and yeah, that lyrical, just like rapid fire, man. It's a lot to process because there's some deep lyricism and wordplay and a lot of references and
Hell
everything. It's
yeah.
just like, whoa, I gotta listen to this again and again and again to make sure I'm not
Hell yeah.
missing things.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we got some comments here about your breath control being on fire. Imagine how long it took to write. Um, yeah, the
You're not
production
wrong.
is fire. Nordic One says. We got a lot of love here. Let me scroll back a little bit. What's all? I see here some supercalifragil. There's a lot of compliments out
Hell
here.
yeah.
Jane the message says such clean delivery. It's like getting a package of Lysol from the UPS.
Hell yeah. Jane
Um,
always knows what to say.
yeah. Let's see what else we got here. We got love that. Like I'm rolling out that shoulder pain. Great rhymes.
Hell yeah.
Lyricism. Yeah, a lot of love out here. Um, let's see. If you have any questions for Voltaire or Drasmatic, go ahead and drop them in the chat. But yeah, let's start with how did this collaboration come to be?
Well, I mean, it's kind of been a long time in the making. We went to college together at Diablo Valley College in Pleasant Hill, and we've been we talk all the time. Every like couple of weeks, we're like, yeah, let's do a song together. You know what I mean? And then that was 12 years ago. You know what I mean? But time flies, I guess. And just earlier, the beginning of this year, Jazz was like, "Hey, I have a couple beats you might sound good on, and just pick a couple and see what you like." And I was like, "I like all of them." And then he was just like, "Okay, then rap on all of them." And so then I did. And then like a week later, he sent it back complete. And I was like, "This is the quickest I've ever put an album together from concept ever."
That's incredible.
It
But
was
hey,
pretty
I guess
sweet.
that's yeah, when there's like synergy, right? When people are on the same wavelength,
Mhm.
it's just effortless.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful. I want to know a little bit more. I know about Voltaire, some of your influences, but yeah, I'm curious about artists and their hip hop journey. How did hip hop end up being the genre, right? And yeah, how did you first get started making beats, and how did you first get started MCing?
It's a long, long story. I first started making beats at 19. Actually, I was a college student before I went to college at Diablo Valley College. I went to Art Institute of Tennessee, Nashville, and I started with electronic music classes, taking some studio classes there. I ended up dropping out. I said this isn't the right school for me. But I went to Art Institute of San Francisco after I learned at Art Institute of Tennessee how to make beats. I transferred to another school. Went there. I said, nah. This is all before I met Voltaire. When I met Voltaire, it was during the music industry studies program at Diablo Valley College. It was a repeat of what I learned at Art Institute and Art Institute of San Francisco and Tennessee. So it was a repeat of that. So it was very, very easy and simple for me to go in there and get a degree. And I learned basically I knew everything before going into there about what they would teach because I previously went to Art Institute.
Mm.
But as far as influences, I think you were bringing up that question. I'm very influenced by sample-based hip-hop. A lot of the 90s boom bap styles like DJ Premier, like Ninth Wonder, like Pete Rock. I can even listen Madlib, Jay Dilla. Huge Dilla fan growing up as a kid when I was in high school. Huge Madlib fan. They both played a huge influence on what I do now. So, and even today, I'm part of. You see my hoodie. I'm part of today's Future Sound.
Mm.
So I got to perform with artists like DiBiase. Also got to perform with Cryptic One in New York City at the NYC. Also got to perform with Kilroy Wash out of Alabama. Just top producers that came to the Bay Area or live in the state of California who came together and did live beat sets. And it really paid a big influence on my style when I started to work with Voltaire. So I learned a ton of stuff, not only in school, going for the degree, but also performing and just watching, observing what they were doing and how they were utilizing the SP404 and this machine, the Chaos Pad. I daisy chained together and I created something, just being original, created something that nobody's thought of. So there you have it. There you have it.
Yeah, and shout out to Flip a Beat Club. You mentioned DiBiase. They're doing great things out in Sacramento. And then, of course, shout out to Filthy Drum and Elliot Gann, today's Future Sound, doing great things in the Bay Area. And he's going international these days. So, that's great to hear. Yeah, there are a lot of these local connections, but then also, all these influences. Every person that either of you has named as an influence is just an absolute legend. So definitely some of my favorite producers, people like Premier and Primo and Ninth Wonder. Voltaire, what would you like to add?
I just got into, when I was growing up like a little kid, I was really into writing, I'd write like short stories and poems and stuff. And also was getting into hip hop, around that when I was a little kid too. Like the first rap song I ever remember really liking was Bar Baby by Big Mo. That might be a deep cut for some of y'all, I don't know. But I just sort of really early on my poems just became rap verses. And then I wasn't confident enough to show anyone to them until I was like 19. You know what I mean? And then just been messing around with beats. Like in high school, I messed around with like in Fruity Loops and all that kind of stuff, and just making real simple little raps and stuff. I went to DVC. I met Draz. I met AO Lyrical. Was in this group called Invader with him and a few of our friends back in the day. And just been, I did a lot of my own solo stuff for a while, and then to mixed results. But recently, just been hooked up with the Low Trotters, joined on with them last year, and started SlapMatic earlier this year. And since then, things have just been, really hitting the stride, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's amazing. And it's a blast from the past as well, hearing you talk about Big Mo. Rest in peace to Big Mo as well.
I'm sorry that every rapper that I mentioned is dead. I don't mean to be a bummer.
Yeah, it's like that dinosaur book, like all my friends are dead.
Yeah.
But I remember when his music video for Purple Stuff came out, I was like, that is wild. It's like the hip-hop scissor Willy Wonka, like that.
It's so funny, like, growing up in Houston, I didn't hear E40 at regular speed until I moved to the Bay Area at 16. I only ever heard him on DJ Screw's mixtapes. And so when I first came to the Bay Area, he was like, I was like, this is way too fast for me.
Now look how fast you're rapping.
That's right.
Faster than E40 raps.
The Bay gets you. The Bay gets you quick.
We got a question from Jane the Message. What helps you both to keep growing as artists?
Honestly, I think it's just being in the community, I see all these people around me doing great things, and I'm like, oh, man, you know what I mean? I can't just rest on my laurels, you know what I mean? And it's just, sometimes I'll hear a song that I made before I was even putting stuff up on Spotify, and I'm like, man, this is bad. This is very terrible song. And so, to look back on that and see where I've come, coupled with looking at my buddies like Jane or Skep or Draz and seeing all the greatness that they're doing, it's like, it's inspirational, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, iron sharpens iron for sure.
Yes.
I think what inspires both of us is progression. That's what I was thinking about. Just progressing, working, collaborating, networking, doing things, staying active, and knowing that if we keep progressing, we're only going to get better. We're not going to go backward. We're only going to propel forward. So that's what I noticed his progression from, it was early on at 19 all the way up till he's 33 now. I'm 34. So knowing his progression and how he developed from Diablo Valley College to right now, he's progressed. Like this kid is definitely doing his thing, and he's hustling. So that's one thing I noticed. But yeah, and I gotta bring up a comment. He's from Houston. I used to live in Houston whenever I was in third grade, third through about sixth grade, I believe. Yeah, third through about sixth grade. So I grew up on Big Mo and Little Kiki and Fat Pat and ESG. And the first hip hop song I've ever heard in my entire life was Little Troy Wanna Be a Baller. So I knew about that Southern movement the same time he knew about it. I was like, oh man, it just brings back memories just of the South and how the South has influenced both of us in our style and on what we do.
That's what's up. But yeah, we
I'm
got
over here
this.
singing it. As soon as you said it, I'm like, shot caller.
Yeah, that one's a classic. Definitely an earworm. That one will stay in your head once you've heard it. It's amazing that, you both came from Texas, and then you both went to college together, and now 12 years later, you got this project together. It does feel like there's some cosmic alignment or something going on. It's really fascinating, and can't wait to hear the rest of your tracks. So let's go.